Morning. It's Wednesday, September 5th, I believe. It's in that area. Talking to Melissa and Jennifer that train at the Ogre Compound and that I coach. One of the things that we run into is how we communicate with each other, and in turn, what I learned from that and how I communicate with you folks that I coach online. And what this is for is not just the people that I coach, but if you're a lifter and you're listening to this and you have a coach, there's some things that are vital to your success. One is always communicate with the coach. If they're emailing you or however you're getting your sessions, always when the session's complete, make sure you've taken notes. And let me add this, I have just signed on with Aplift. This is not an advertisement to hire me. I'd love for you to, but what I'm after is Aplift is this great platform, and they have all this neat onboard stuff that you can do with tracking your workout and all these other things, and your videos, and there's a chat and all these things. It's on one platform, and it's great. And I hope that you'll use that and hire the coach that best suits your needs. That being said, that nice little commercial plug there, always have a notebook where you have to handwrite your notes. And what I've learned in the olden days before social media and apps and cell phones and intelligent phones and all that stuff is when we wrote stuff, that's why we took notes. That's why the teacher would have us copy certain things. We would remember it. So I want you to write those things down and take notes about the day. How did you feel? What were your thoughts going into the session? All these things teach you and reinforce your habits and gives you and the coach vital information. Did you feel good? You ate fried Oreos and drank 7 beers the night before. Did that have a good effect or a bad effect? And everybody's different. I've seen people come in hungover and hit PRs. I'd never suggest it, but I have seen it. And then understand that there is no magic. But here's another plug. One of the things that Jennifer writes about in her blog, Power Your Own, and I strongly urge that you read everything that she has written. She's got a lot to say, clearly, but she's got a lot of really good information, and I contribute. So, anyway, magic fairy dust and magic meat day, like I've squatted high all cycle long, magically I'm going to get that squat in come meat day. There's a few vital things, and I'll get back to the vital things with the coach. One, feelings don't matter. They just don't matter. It all comes down to you executing your technique and your form. That's what this sport comes down to, period. End of report. How you feel is irrelevant. There is no magic. You will compete how you train. It will come through every time. If you're one of those bros that thinks that dropping the deadlift bar from the top is hardcore and cool, it's your shit. If you want to tear it up, be my guest. But I have seen this over and over and over where people, they will do and compete as they practice. And I've seen people inadvertently drop the deadlift when it's specifically against the rules. Or, they'll press the bench to lock out and then throw it in the rack and don't understand why they've gotten red lighted. It's, again, the habits that you develop in the gym are the habits that you will carry through with you on the platform. And the other one, and this will kind of tie back into the coach's thing, is a lot of people get caught up in looking, when we look at an equation, so to speak, 2 + 2 = 4. In the world we live in today, with everything being instantaneous, I'm not saying it's good or bad, I'm just saying it is we have a tendency to look at the end product, the sum total of the equation, the end, so to speak. And how that relates to lifting is you look at, like, we are very blessed to have a lot of athletes in the gym, both at home and then on the internet as well, where I coach people remotely. And we've had great successes. And it looks like we're doing all this wonderful work and everything's just delightful. That's because most of you, and how we post as well, we don't post that many times when we miss lifts. We don't post when somebody pissed their pants and is crying, and, you know, any amount of things that are going on in that person's life that would have a negative effect. We always look at the end result. And what I'm going to tell you is sometimes when 2 + 2 = 4, when you look at that equation, there's a lot of moving parts and a lot of pieces that go into what creates that whole of the sum. Now, what does that mean? It means that you don't understand how much work, how much time, how much effort, and all the things that take place, obstacles overcome, whether it's relationships, schedule, work, spouse, boyfriend, puppies, kids, any number of issues that you'll have to overcome in a training cycle. And most training cycles are long. A short cycle would be 8, but most of us train 12, 16, 20, sometimes 24 weeks before we compete. So there's a lot of work that goes into it. And what happens, like with me, and this has happened quite a bit of late, because we have lifters, we have several meets coming up. There's 4 different competitions, a couple of different federations over the next 6 weeks, something like that. And as you start getting close to that competition, and some of these are bench press nationals, IPA worlds, classic raw nationals, you know, these are big meets, and it means a lot to the lifter as well. And so when things don't always click, we start questioning things. Or am I okay? How do I fix this? I think I should be better. I thought I would be further along. And so you have to look at the whole picture, the whole scope of things, to get a really clear picture of where you are. And this isn't just for the average lifter. You know, when you coach people that are IPF world champions, USA powerlifting national champions, SPF national champions, IPA world champions, it still comes down to a lot of elite lifters. You still have a lot of questions, and so it's not just the average lifter. You know, I'll give you a classic example. Jody Rice is an elite power lifter. She's M1 age, and she won bench nationals last year, both open and masters. And she feels like, you know, that she should put 50 pounds on her bench press in 6 months. Now, I'm exaggerating a little bit, you know, to jazz this story up, but it's our job as coaches to help that lifter kind of keep things realistic. And then it's your job as the lifter to push the threshold, you know, of what's realistic. You know, it's only impossible until somebody does it. So she's very competitive, very fiery, very driven, and thinks like she'll give me goal numbers, and every time I just incredulously shake my head and go, she's out of her mind. Now, there's been times where she has surprised me, and other times, most of the time, it goes exactly the way that I think. She makes great progress, but it's not in the manner that she wishes. You know, if it were up to her, she'd be squatting and deadlifting 600 pounds and benching 400. I can certainly appreciate that. But this is why it's vital for you that every time you do a session, send your videos, and she sends all of them. As a matter of fact, all the Rices that I coach, John and Elliot included, they send everything. And that's fine. It's up to me to watch it and glean from it what I can. And that information helps me as I'm doing more programming and making decisions about upcoming meets, where I think we are and what we can expect and so forth. So keep in mind, where all this ties in is all the information that you can have at your disposal. If you use AppLift as an example, I use Coach's Eye a lot. Save those videos, save your videos, have a YouTube, have a place that you file all that stuff, download it, file it, whatever, however all that works. And then have a journal that you write everything you can down and have that at your disposal. You know, there's just all these different variables, and you can see patterns and things of that with your eating, how you perform, you know, how you're feeling, you know, all those things become vital. And that realize that's where all the information is, and that's where all the progress is done. Again, we always look after the equal sign at the sum of the equation, and you don't see the blood, the sweat, the tears, the snot, the poop, all the things that you went through to get to that point. You know, you see the medal around someone's neck or the trophy in their hand, you go, oh, they did great. You know, but there's a bigger, broader story to be told, and lots more to learn from what happened on the front end of that equal sign. So I hope that helps you and gives you some perspective and inspires you to work harder with your coach, because here's the thing, we are only as good as the two of us can collaborate together. And so it's a team effort. It takes the coach or coaches and the lifter and your teammates doing everything that they can to help you achieve your goals. So best of luck. Anytime you have questions, please contact me, and follow us on Instagram, _ogre_compound, and follow all the girls and the guys that are lifting in the gym and the Ogre dogs. So have a great day, everybody.